Let's talk more about some of these foreign policy hotspots. Texas Congressman Michael McCaul is the top Republican on the Foreign Affairs Committee. He joins us live from Houston. Congressman, great to have you.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me.
On Iran, President Trump tweeting today, Iran has just issued a new warning. Rouhani says that they will enrich uranium to any amount we want if there is no new nuclear deal. Be careful with the threats, Iran. They can come back to bite you like nobody has bitten before. Take a listen to President Trump with Tucker Carlson, and I will ask you to respond.
You can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon, and you can't let certain other countries have nuclear weapons. Too devastating. So they're having a lot of difficulty in their country right now, and hopefully at some point they'll come back and they'll say, we're going to make a deal.
Your thoughts on Iran, sir?
Well, I was in the White House with the president when we talked about options to respond to the UAV that was shot down by the Iranian missiles. It's a military asset of the United States shot down by Iran. And I must say that the president exercised great caution in trying to de-escalate this conflict, not escalate it. But one thing he made clear in the room was that he will not stand for a nuclear Iran. And that is his red line. And if Iran chooses to cross that red line and get nuclear weapons, he will respond in full force. And that was pretty clear to me in the room at that time. But it's also important to note, Mike, that Iran is currently in violation of the JCPOA, the Iran deal. And the European partners are responding, like Theresa May and the president of France, President Macron, saying that if Iran's going to violate the JCPOA, then we're prepared to get out of that deal as well.
On North Korea, the president just had a historic visit into the DMZ. Your thoughts on the situation with North Korea right now, with some complaining that it may have been a photo op. Take a listen to this, and I will get you to respond.
The Obama administration was begging for a meeting. They were begging for meetings constantly, and Chairman Kim would not meet with him. And for some reason, we have a certain chemistry or whatever. Now, let's see what happens. We have a long way to go.
It's reality show foreign policy. He wants that photo op. He wants that little hit. If anyone thinks this doesn't hurt America in the short term, in the long run, they're sadly mistaken.
I have no problem with him sitting down with Kim Jong-un in North Korea or any place else. But I don't want it simply to be a photo opportunity.
Was that just a photo op, as critics suggest?
Look, we have to engage. The stakes are simply too high right now. Under 3 prior administrations, concessions were made to the North Koreans, and North Korea now has nuclear capability. They have ICBM capability, miniaturized nuclear warheads that can be delivered to the continental United States. So I really, this president's very unique in his foreign policy. I think it's important we engage, but his unconventional approach, I think, is very interesting to me because it can break ice in other ways that have not been done before. And we've seen this time and time again in his negotiations that he's taken on, whether it be with Mexico and Canada, what he did with ISIS, and many other examples. And so I think we have to engage North Korea, and to do otherwise would be really a big mistake.
As a leading member in the House dealing with some of these hotspots around the globe, is there one that you find most alarming at this stage?
I think Iran's behavior and its provocation in the Straits of Hormuz and with its neighbors and with its land bridge or Shia crescent into Iraq, Syria, into Lebanon, where all the Hezbollah Shia militias are, and the Houthi rebels in Yemen, poses a real threat to the region and potentially the United States if Iran does get a nuclear weapon.
Afghanistan, it's pretty clear President Trump would like to draw down. Do you think that peace talks with the Taliban could be successful?
It's very difficult. I mean, the idea of negotiating with the Taliban in and of itself sounds a very big challenge. The government of Afghanistan and the Taliban are meeting with our U.S. partners to discuss in Dubai to discuss a peace process where we could see a withdrawal of troops. I think we have to do that. But these latest attacks you saw by the Taliban against civilians in Kabul show you how tenuous the situation is. And the thing I care about the most is that ISIS seems to be a bit on the rise in Afghanistan, and the Khorasan group talking about external operations to hit the United States.
Congressman Michael McCaul, the great state of Texas, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Mike.